Welcome, friends. So, a couple weeks ago, Sony had layoffs. One of the studios that shut down completely was London Studios, and they were developing a multiplayer live service game. And there were many other multiplayer live service games that Sony was working on. One of them was also rumored to be Twisted Metal, so I'm very sad about that. And from a recent Insomniac leak, turns out another one of those games was Spider-Man 2, or just Spider-Man. It was going to be a live service game by the looks of it, and based on the cover, and you could see in my thumbnail here with the backpack and the cool shoes, yeah, it was definitely going to be monetized with microtransactions. Now, this cancellation tells us one major important thing, and that is someone over at either Sony or the studios or both, someone who's pulling the strings is very intelligent and aware of the situation in the gaming industry. And what I mean by that is they're not just looking at games like trends such as Fortnite and thinking, oh, multiplayer monetization, battle royale, put that out, put that out. Like with Halo, they monetized Halo 5, Halo Infinite. There was rumors that they were trying to build a battle royale, and they also monetized that. Even without the battle royale, Gears of War got monetized. Microsoft went full on monetization because they just looked at the big popular games. But Sony looks at their games and they realize, hey, this they either realize themselves or they ask the studios making these games, hey, is this going to be good? Will it have a fun gameplay loop? We understand that it is going to take a lot of money post launch. Is it worth doing? Can you guys do that while also working on other projects? And I bet that's what happened. I bet Insomniac, I bet Naughty Dog, I bet the studio heads are like, no, we can't do that. Just look at Suicide Squad. After like beating the game, the multiplayer gameplay loop is just repetitive. The missions aren't fun. The getting the loot isn't worth it. The weapons are overpowered. Anyway, it's just not fun. No one cares. No one cares to be the Joker. So, I always talk about Sunset Overdrive, which was made by Insomniac. Sunset Overdrive, that was an Xbox exclusive back in 2014, had a multiplayer where you jump around the city killing mobs. And it was just so easy. You just jump into a quick match that lasted 3 minutes of you and like tons of other people gliding around, shooting mobs, and then that's it. There was no difficulty whatsoever. And that might have been the case with Spider-Man. It might have been just too easy with multiple Spider-Men just flying around, beating up bad guys. You guys have to understand, like, they would have to add so many more mobs in these encounters, and they'd have to be so much more difficult, or else this game would have been just too easy, just way too easy. So I'll just skim over an article real quick from IGN, and then I might even show you the trailer here. All right, so earlier today, a trailer for an unannounced and reportedly canceled online Spider-Man spin-off game from Insomniac leaked onto Reddit and social media. The trailer showcases multiple players taking on the roles of various famous spider heroes while exploring New York City and other universes. In the leaked trailer for Spider-Man: The Great Web, we hear the guy who voices Peter Parker, and he says, "Sometimes you can swing it as a lone wolf, but you're way better off and with some friends." He also worries that the evil Sinister Six, a group of famous Spidey villains including Doc Ock, are ramping up their activities and becoming more dangerous and savage. "I don't think I'm going to be enough this time, guys, but together we might just be," says Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. So that's where the other players come in and help work together to take on criminals across New York City. And scrolling down here, the trailer shows what appears to be the ability for folks to play as Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, and even Venom. It also hints at other universes connected to the game's main setting, using portals that look a lot like they came out of the animated Spider-Verse film. and the gameplay and exploration just looking like Spider-Man 2 from the PS5. Sorry, this is the Kotaku article, not the IGN, if I said IGN. But don't get too excited. This game was canceled long ago. And yes, we've seen other live service games such as The Last of Us multiplayer get canceled. So this was a part of a massive data breach, and that's how they got it. And that's about it. There's nothing more on that. They've reached out for Sony for comment, but have not gotten back to them as of yet. There's not really much new news or different news over here on the IGN website. Yeah, so you'd be able to play as Gwen, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Venom, Spider-Man 2099, and yeah, so that was basically it. It got canceled, and I'll go ahead and play this here for you guys. There's a good reason this game got canceled. They know that it's like buying a massive what do you call it? The rich people always buy I'm going blank right now. The boats in the water, yachts. It's like buying a yacht as a rich person and always having to have it staffed and paying for the port fees to dock it somewhere. It's just going to be a money pit. And you're seeing these live action or these live service games are money pits. Anthem 2019 Anthem, continuing service on that would be a money pit. Continuing service on the Suicide Squad would be a money pit. It just would all be a money pit. And can you make it good and fun? The devs know they cannot make it good and fun, make it difficult, challenging, get players to always come back. They're probably like, look, we can't do that. It won't. We can't do it. It just won't. And Insomniac really isn't known for multiplayer. They're known for great single player games. And they probably just told Sony no. And what's different in the IGN article is they interviewed a developer from Naughty Dog, and I'm going to quickly go to that, and you can see the portals there, and that's about it. They interviewed someone from Naughty Dog, and he said they framed the decision as a choice between prioritizing legacy of single-player narrative games and live service games, which require a tremendous amount of resources to support over the long haul. So even he's saying, yeah, that it would be a lot of resources to support it, and we want to prioritize the legacy of single-player narrative games and not just not mesh it up with live service and ruin the game. And again, there's been many great games that you know of and great studios who made great games who had to switch to live service, and it ruined the game. So what I'm saying is the big takeaway from all of this is that Sony or the studios at Sony, someone over there is really smart, and they're like, we'll lose money on this. This is not like, this can't work. And if it is the studio telling Sony this, and Sony, give them credit, Sony saying, oh, okay, yeah, we'll take your word for it. Just make another single player, make the Wolverine, make other Marvel games, because it did leak that they had other Marvel games they're going to be making at Insomniac. So yeah, Sony making some good decisions with this, I think. And to be clear, I'm not some Sony fanboy. I've actually been mainly an Xbox gamer. Please send me any negative Sony news. Please, I am looking for negative Sony news. I just cannot find any. I don't think that it's good they have no games coming out this year. I think that's bad. But they're coming out maybe with a new console. I think it's maybe a year too soon. But it's been 4 years. I wouldn't say a year too soon. It's just they don't have any games this year, and that's the only bad thing. But yeah, they're not making a lot of mistakes, guys. They're not making a lot of mistakes. So comment down below what you think about Spider-Man the live service being canceled. Would you have been interested in playing it? If you want to comment down below, I'm a Sony fanboy, go ahead. But if you do, please link me a negative Sony article of something bad that they have done. Please. Because I made a video about them firing people. So, yep, comment down below, send the links for those news articles, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.